Hello everyone, my name is Pedro Reyes. I am an internal auditor at Nimbus. I graduated in computer science, a master in a master in artificial intelligence, and also an expert title in blockchain. I have worked in the private sector, working for a very huge client in the travel industry. I have worked also in the research area, working for a very cool project in the that was focused on creating a solar storm forecaster. And what we are going to do in these videos, we are going to talk about the different decentralized applications that we have here at Nimbus. Okay, we're going to start with this very first video for the lending and borrowing. We're going to focus more in the part of the lending, and this is very interesting for you because probably the lending and borrowing and decentralized applications are the most common that you can find probably already in the DeFi ecosystem. So this is a very good start if you are a beginner. And if you are not a beginner, it is always good to have another option when you want to do this kind of transactions for lending and borrowing, because depending on whether you go to one protocol or the other, you will find different APYs. So you might get more rewards in one for a particular token, and you can get less in rewards in another protocol, depending on the token that you want to lend and borrow, right? So apart from this, the part if you are going to be a lender in the DeFi protocol, this is something that is probably the most safe transactions that you can do in the DeFi protocol. It is easy to use. There is not a block time. You can get rewards in real time, and also there is not you can withdraw these tokens whenever you want. And almost all the ecosystem is using basically the over collateralized solution. So this is why your tokens, they will be safe, because basically they will be over collateralized. So there will be in the middle a smart contract, and this smart contract will have more values than the tokens that the smart contract is lending. So it is quite safe to be a lender in the DeFi protocols. Let's jump into some of the examples that you can find in the traditional world, where you can have the part of the car loans, you can have the mortgage, you can have the student loan, and in all these traditional ecosystem, you will have the figure of the bank. The figure of the bank is usually the lender, right? And you will go to the bank, you will borrow to the bank, and you will be able to buy something with this borrow. With this loan that you made for your house, for your car, for the university, right? So it is going to depend whatever you want. Usually, we can make a very fair, simple example with the car, right? You need to buy a car, and you need to borrow to the bank. So this is the traditional way that this work. In the DeFi protocols, you will find that you can be the lender and you can be the borrower. So you can be the person that is going to get the rewards from the borrowers. So let's say that you are going to lend some BUSD or some tokens MBU, right? And these tokens are going to be they are going to be lent to a borrower, and this borrower will have to give you back this BUSD that you lent, and also he will have to give you the rewards that will depend on the APY that this particular token has, right? So it will be variable, the APY, depending on whether we're talking about BUSD, MBU, or any other token. So if we go deeper into what is right now the DeFi protocols, you will find that there are two types of figures. There are the DeFi protocols and there are the CeFi protocols. And what is the difference between each of them is that in the DeFi protocols, they are based solely in smart contracts, right? Everything, all the business logic is under the hood is in smart contracts. So you can find Nimbus, you can find Compound for lending and borrowing, Nimbus, Compound, Aave, and BCX, for example. And if you go to the CeFi companies, you will find BlockFi or Celsius, for example. And the difference between each of them is that in DeFi protocols, you have the smart contracts, and in CeFi companies, you will send your tokens, you will send your digital assets, and they will be in control of your digital assets. So they will try to get rewards and from these rewards that they will try to get with these tokens that you are giving to them, they will try to get some rewards, and part of these rewards they will keep them, and the other part of the rewards they will send it to you. Whereas if you are in the DeFi protocols, you are in full control of your tokens. You can lend wherever you want, and you will get full rewards of the token that you are lending, right? So basically, how it works in Nimbus is that you will have in the middle a smart contract. You will, let's make an example with myself. I have 1 MBU. I have more MBUs, of course, but in this particular example, I'm going to have just 1 MBU. And I'm going to put this 1 MBU token, I'm going to put it in the smart contract. So this smart contract has just 1 MBU, and this 1 MBU, there is a borrower, and the borrower wants this 1 MBU that I have in the smart contract. So the smart contract will tell the borrower, okay, you want to get this you want to get this 1 MBU. You will have to give me more than the value of this current 1 MBU. So let's suppose that 1 MBU is exactly the same that 1 BNB. The borrower will have to put more BNB than 1 MBU that I have in the smart contract. So in the particular example of Nimbus, what the borrower will have to put 1.20 BNB. Okay, so in the smart contract, I put 1 MBU, and if the borrower wants to get this 1 MBU that I have here, he will have to put 1.20 BNB because he doesn't have MBU yet. So he's going to put 1.20 MBU. All right. So he's going to send this 1.20 BNB to the smart contract, and the smart contract will send the 1 MBU. So the point about this is that the smart contract is going to have more value than he is given to the borrowers. The reason why a borrower wants to do this, to put more money than the is borrowing, it is, for example, this particular example. Maybe the borrower doesn't have MBU, but he wants to get some MBU, and he doesn't want to sell the BNB that he has, but he knows that there are some ways to get rewards with the MBU. So he puts the BNB in the smart contract, he gets the MBU, and he tried to get some rewards with the MBU. The point is that if you are the lender, are all good news for you. One, because your tokens are going to be safe because they are over collateralized with the tokens that the BNB that the borrower put in the smart contract. Second, you're going to get rewards in real time for the tokens that you are putting. These rewards that you are going to get, they are not going to be directly in MBU. They are going to be in I tokens. These I tokens, they are going to be the representation of your tokens, of your MBU, and also the rewards that you are having. So they will increase with time, right? And the third one is that you can turn these I tokens, these tokens that are the representation of your tokens and the rewards, you will be able to turn this token into MBU whenever you want, because you can withdraw whenever you want your tokens from your I tokens from the smart contract. So if you are a lender, they are all good news for you. Let's jump into the example and see how you can lend your tokens, lend your MBU in Nimbus. Let's go. So here we are in the Nimbus platform, and the first thing that we have to do is to go to the decentralized applications, and we will go to the part of the lending. Once we are in the part of the lending dApp, what we have to do is we go to the GMBU panel, and we will see that we have 10.15 GMBU. So this is the maximum amount that we can lend to the smart contract, that we can lend to the lending and borrowing dApp. So what we're going to do is we are going to lend some part of these GMBU tokens. How we're going to do this? The first thing that we have to do is to approve that the contract can move our tokens. So as you can see right now with this first transaction, we still have our 10.15 GMBU tokens, and we are waiting for the transaction to be executed in the blockchain. Once it is executed in the blockchain, there is no way back, okay? But this is just for the approval. So we didn't send yet any token. We are just leaving to the smart contract to tell that he can move our tokens in case that we want to move them. Once the transaction is confirmed, we will see this panel and we will see the MetaMask notification. So now what we are going to do is we're going to lend some part of our tokens. We have two options. We can either type manually the amount of tokens that we want to lend. We can press the max button. So here, if you press the max button, you can see all the GMBU that you have. In this case, we are going to lend just one GMBU. And the interest rate that we are going to lend this one GMBU is going to be 5.722. Okay, so 5.7. And basically, here it is the moment that we are telling the contract, hey, I'm going to send you this amount of GMBU tokens. So I'm going to lend this amount of GMBU tokens. So you can lend this amount to a borrower. And these borrowers, they are going to give me some profits for the amount of GMBU that I'm lending. So this is exactly the same way, the same transaction that we did before, but instead of approving the movement of our GMBU, what we are going to do is to lend the tokens that we are approving early on. Okay, so right now it is the same. We are waiting for the transaction to be executed in the blockchain, and we will see exactly the same. We will see here a notification of MetaMask, and once this transaction is executed, we will see a successful notification, and you will see that here we have total balance 1 GMBU, and you can see that in the iToken balance we have 0.99. So the representation of our deposit in iTokens, it is not the same that in GMBU token. They are the same. Basically, they are the representation of our GMBU tokens, but it is not the same number. Okay, so 1 GMBU in this particular case, 1 GMBU, it is 0.995888 iTokens. Okay, so in case you're wondering what is happening here, if I deposit 1 GMBU token, why do I have 0.99 iToken? So this is a representation, and it is equal to this 1 GMBU that we have lent. And after a while, you will see that you will get another field, which is the part of the profit. So after a while, you will start to see that you get a field for the profit. Here that you can see there is a profit that is lower than 0.000001, because of course right now we have lent a very small amount of GMBU, but we are already starting to get some profits from some rewards from this 1 GMBU token that we have lent. So here, as you can see, we already have some profits of the GMBU lending that we have done. And now what we're going to do is we're going to unlend the tokens. So we have right now 9.15 GMBU, and we have a total balance of iGMBU tokens, which is 0.995. In this case, you have two options. You can withdraw part of your deposits and withdraw, which is the representation that you have here in iGMBU, or you can withdraw everything, which is basically withdraw all the representation that you have in iGMBU, which the iGMBU, it is the total amount of summing the deposit that you have made for lending and your profits, your rewards. Okay, so here we are going to press in max, and once we press in max, we are going to see that we have total balance with profits, and they are going to be the representation. So as you can see here, we lent 1 GMBU, but now what we have, it is a total balance of 1 GMBU 0.1000000010.2 GMBU. So we already got some profits from the lending that we made in Nimbus platform in the lending decentralized application in the app. Okay, so for this it is exactly the same. We are going to press the button of a lending. Once we selected the amount that we want to lend, that we want to receive from our lending, and Okay, and once the application is finished, you will see this panel of successful action executed in the blockchain. You will see this panel, and you will see that you will get back your 1 GMBO plus your profits. So here you can see that we have back our 10.15 GMBO. So that's it for this video. You are now more than able to go to Nimbus and start lending your tokens and getting some rewards from these tokens. We will leave the URL of the website right in the description. And if you have any questions, you can leave it in the comments and I will answer. See you in the next one.